Good morning, everyone. Afternoon. It is 3 p.m. So good afternoon, everyone. This is our first official session of Breathe Women's Class. And so I'm very excited and happy that you are here. And so we are getting into Breathe. And I'm very excited to be sharing this with you. So we're going to jump in on this class. I'm going to share my screen and we are going to jump into the PowerPoint. Making sure I got the right thing here. And most of us, I promise you, I know how to do a PowerPoint. It's just been so long. So since I've had to do it. It's been so long since I've had to do PowerPoint. Okay, so this is through Dr. Liz's Soul Care Seminars. And Soul Care Seminar stands for Christ Anointing and Comprehensive Approaches Restores Entirely. Comprehensive Approaches Restores Entirely. So the first session we had, the live lunch we had last week, I talked about some of my experiences and credentials. And so I'm just going to say briefly, I am a licensed counselor. I'm a board certified telemental health provider, right? But I'm also a church leader. I'm a, minister, licensed minister. I'm also educator. I've educated in academics, and also I guess you say I'm a teacher when it comes to being a church leader. And so I'm gonna use all of those different approaches, all the things that I've learned over the years to dive into this and for us to hopefully find a way where we will be able to find peace in every area of our lives. So this one says Christ, anointing, and comprehensive approaches restores entirely, spirit, body, and soul. That's what we're here to do. And as far as breathe goes, this is something that was birthed in my spirit. We're dealing with COVID, something that attacks our respiratory system. And things that have attacked us is anxiety and stress and the various things that we've been going through as it relates to our relationships with our families or significant others or children or whomever. It may be even work related. So as a result, we've been suffocating. So our mission statement for Breathe is teaching people how to lay aside every suffocating weight of mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical distress to finally breathe, to breathe in hope, to breathe in healing, and to breathe in joy. So that is my number one mission for Breathe, for this women's class. And so I hope that you'll invite people, let people know about it, and hopefully we can have more participants to just have hopefully some victories in these areas. So I wanted to do a quick overview of what we have going on. We have our women's group, which is on, I'm going to add a second Wednesdays, I believe is going to be at 12 p.m. We're going to have a lunch time for people online to join. Then we're going to have second Saturdays of each month at 3 p.m. So we have two different times. We also have our teen group that's going to be on the third Saturdays at 1. And we also have Breathe ORT that is on the third Saturdays at 3. And then I'm doing a marriage intensive on the fourth Saturday of the month from 9 to 12. So those are the various different things. And I forgot to share that on, I'm see if I have it written down. Let me see. I believe it's the third Thursday. We have Glory Life Transformations, where Pastor Frank will be helping people, teaching people how they can lose weight, right? Lay aside every weight that so easily besets us in our weight area, because he's lost 150 pounds and he's been keeping all of his secrets. He's got to share his secrets. He's gonna have to do that. So I'm insisting that he share his secrets. So that's another wonderful class that we're going to be offering. So I'm excited. And hopefully you are too. All right. So now I want to get into Breathe. What are we going to be doing in Breathe? So there's going to be some objectives over the course of this Breathe seminar series, which is probably about 12 months. I meant 6 to 12 months. We'll see how it works. We may do it the full year and just end in December. So the first one, step 1, we're going to process our feelings, our thoughts, behaviors, and relationship dynamics. Processing is number 1. And if you're a client of mine, if you talk to me any amount of time, you know that's the first thing that I'm thinking about. The next one is, I'm sorry, this is in the way. I have to move. Okay. The next one is step 2. You will learn ways to strategize and problem solve. One of the number 1 things that I do is solution-focused therapy. So in solution-focused therapy is coming up and collaborating together to figure out what do we need to do to problem solve, to find some strategies to change some of the dynamics that are going on. And so that's what we do. Okay. And so the next one, step 3, is you will learn 10 to 20. This is something I can't do in one-on-one sessions, but in the classes, I plan on loading you down with a ton of coping skills to manage your daily life. And then number 4 is we're going to learn up to 25 ways to actually implement self-care, self-love, loving on ourselves, caring about ourselves. We need to do that more. And I think this is the perfect time to birth that, and is February. So we're going to do that. And again, our mission says, I'm believing that through this process, through these 4 steps, throughout this course, that we're going to be able to breathe in hope, breathe in peace, where we felt hopeless, where we felt like there was no peace, no mental peace, no emotional peace, maybe not even physical peace in your body, that we're going to have that peace, and we're going to have healing. And that's what I'm believing that's going to happen, that we'll have sustained change in our lives and in the lives of our families. Like for those of us in our immediate family, we have little ones or family members that will actually listen to us. Then maybe they'll benefit as well. Okay. Step 1, this is important. I promise you, I was talking to someone and we were both having epiphanies at the same time, making notes. It was too funny. But I talk all the time. This is the one I want to talk about. It's processing. This one I want to just do a little bit of chit-chatting about. So step 1 is processing. So when it comes to processing our feelings, we want to process with a purpose, right? We want to do it deliberately, consciously and deliberately. A lot of times we'll say journal and write down, but the whole purpose of processing and getting it out is not to vent, just to rant. I have a grownish child and 21, and their culture is to rant. You'll see them on social media in various places and they're ranting. They vent like with a fever, with the fervor and with a cadence, and they're just going and going and going. And yeah, you can vent and have that, but they call it a rant, and they're just kind of have their righteous indignation about whatever topic that they're talking about. But I think it should be more than just having that venomous rant. It needs to be something where the goal, what is your end goal? Hopefully it's to have some type of inner peace, to be able to release some of the things that you need to. But it's not just about getting it out there and ranting and going off, but it's also about hopefully finding a way at the end result of getting that out and having that release, that you find some type of healing. You have find some type of inner peace. There's a funny cartoon called, what is it, Inside Out. In that little cartoon, I think Disney did it, don't make me lie. They talked about the different cartoon characters had different emotions. And they wanted to tell one of the characters, I think it was Happy or Joy, she wanted to tell depression to be quiet. And it causes all types of turmoil in the little cartoon because she tried to kick depression down and told depression to shut up and no, let's just be quiet and be happy and let's not talk about any of our problems. So there is, as Ecclesiastes says, there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes we do need to vent. We do need to rant, right? We do need to vent and get it out. Sometimes we need to allow ourselves to be in that depression or in that, to feel and to acknowledge that we're grieving. Acknowledge that and allow ourselves to go through that process. Sometimes we try to stuff it down, ignore it, forget it's there, to compartmentalize. But know that when we compartmentalize and stuff it down or pretend it's not there and just pull ourselves up by a bootstrap and keep going, that eventually we have an emotional break. We and our bodies, literally, if you're having a lot of anxiety, you just keep, I'm just going, women do it a lot. This is a women's group. We can talk, ain't no men in here. So we will keep going and we will work and we'll have a work ethic and we just gonna keep doing this and we're gonna keep doing this. And we do not take care of ourselves like we should, unfortunately. You got to allow yourself to experience those emotions and you got to allow yourself some time to experience those emotions. So that is key. So what I wanted to share, gotta keep moving my little box over. One of the things I wanted to share is journaling. That is one thing that we're going to start with first, our number one processing tool. Remember, we got what, 20 to do, 10 to 20. But the first one we're going to talk about is in our processing journey is journaling. And so journaling is a way of releasing your emotions and not holding them in your body, because holding them in your body causes a lot of turmoil, a lot of toxins, because you're holding that in. Have you ever had anxiety or stress so bad that I don't know what's going on? You've gone and like I said, you've been doing what you need to do, and then you finally sit down for a minute and your whole body's just vibrating. I mean, just stressed. I don't know if it's been that way, but I have. And if you ever been like that and your whole body's just been vibrating and stressed, you need to find a way to release that, to deal with those emotions and not hold it in. Your body is telling you, hello, you got to take care of yourself. What are you doing? You got to attend to your own self. And so as women, we don't do that as much as we need to. I use this example all the time, and we probably all know it by now, but I'm gonna say it anyway for people that don't know. If you ever been on an airplane and the flight attendant gets up there and he or she goes through the safety procedures, and they said in the event, the cabin loses pressure or whatever, and the oxygen masks come down, and you as an adult, if you're traveling with a child or vulnerable adults, who do you put the mask on first? Do you put it on you or that child or vulnerable adult? You put it on yourself first. Because if you fall out, you can't take care of that baby. You can't take care of that vulnerable adult that is relying on you. So a lot of times we need to put the mask on us. We are not doing it, which I don't think is a coincidence that we're dealing with this COVID pandemic, and we're so conscientious about being safe, and we're having to have this mask. And COVID is attacking our respiratory system. It's literally trying to take our breath away. Literally. And we have got to find a way to breathe, to stop and breathe and decompress and relax. And one of the ways to start your day, to end your night, to decompress, to transition from work to going into the evening and spending some time with yourself, transitioning from dealing with whatever, bill collectors or special family members, and then transitioning into some time for yourself, is allowing yourself time to decompress. So journaling will do that. Write down what you're feeling, write down what you're going through, what happened, and try to end on a positive note. Try to end that entry with hope, with positivity. I remember when my mom passed, I tried to end on it and I was mad at God because she died. I'm just gonna tell you, we're talking about grief and loss, we're talking about depression, anxiety, right? We're talking about even transitioning from different relationship dynamics, maybe toxic relationships, unhealthy family dynamics. So for me, one of them I would share is about grief and loss is when my mom passed. I'm telling you, I went through at least 5 or 6 of these little composition books. I went through them and they were front and back. But it helped me so much. And I couldn't even put my finger on one thing, but just being able to pour out my feelings, my thoughts. And even when I couldn't believe God, I couldn't believe the word, I would just say, God, okay, I believe, help my unbelief. I'm mad at you. And people like, don't tell God. I'm like, he can handle it. You can't handle it. God already knows how you feel. So it's not for him more so than it is for yourself to be able to be authentic and open up and share and let him commune with you and help heal you, because some things are so hard that only he can do it. Only your belief, your God can help you. And sometimes, and so it's good to be open and honest. If you can't be open and honest with him, and you can't be open and honest with yourself, who can you be open and honest with? So being open and honest with yourself is the first thing. So I want you to practice writing in your journal. And I didn't get a chance to put this on the PowerPoint, but along with that journal, I'm working feverishly hopefully by the end of next week to get a journal in your hand for anyone who wants it. Just send it to me. I'm going to send it to those who are registered. And if someone else wants it, they can you let them know to get in touch with me at drlizseminars.com. .org, drlizseminars.org, and they can register. But what I'm going to do, I want you to do in the back of the journal, I say, flip the pages, go all the way back a little bit and do some affirmations, do an affirmations section. And what I would like, if you can see, how many times we listen to those negative voices? We have all those negative thoughts, negative voices that we've had from maybe even childhood trauma, not just our adult life. We got stuff way back. And then we play it over and over in our head. So what I want you to do, I forgot to put affirmations at the top, but I want you, that first sheet, even though you skipped all of these pages, right? You skip some pages and start your affirmation section in the back. I want you to split that page in half. I want you to have the negatives on one side and the positives on the other. And on that negative side, I want you to list things that you've been saying anyway, over and over, and saying about yourself, putting yourself down, negating that negation of self, thinking negative things about yourself. Write that down on that side. And then I want you to write that positive rebuttal on the other side, that positive affirmation, whether it's scripturally based, whether it's a quote, or just something you think of, or something that helps you get started. Maybe something that someone else has told you. Oh, I'm not as pretty as I used to be. And then your husband or your significant other or your family member or a friend says, you're beautiful. What are you talking about? You're beautiful. And they uplift you and they give you those positive things. Write that in there. I want you to practice the rebuttal. Negative thing, rebuttal. That positive, affirming rebuttal. And that's what I want you to do in there. And then on the subsequent page, the rest of the pages, I want you to just start a list. Start with number 1. And just have a running tally. Hopefully you'll have a list of 100 when it's all over with, of positive affirmations. No more, you just have that one page that you're going to do the rebuttals and think of any negatives. After that, I just want you to start your list of positive affirmations. Positive affirmations on those pages. And when you're feeling great and you can think of some, or you have time to even, research some, it's great. Research some positive affirmations and put them on your list. Then when you're not feeling so great, then you can come back and put those read those positive affirmations. And reading those positive affirmations a lot of times will get you back up, pull you out of that depression, pull you out of that anxiety and stress, and allow you to breathe, right? Okay, so I'm hoping that's going to be awesome. That's what I want you to do when it comes to writing. That's our first one when it comes to writing our affirmations. Okay. I've been talking all day. I'm about to lose my voice. Not good, not good. Okay. This is a wonderful little quote. It says, surely something resides in this heart that is not perishable, and life is more than a dream. Okay, this is a quote uh, by a British philosopher and feminist. Okay. But I thought it was nice because it's pink, it's the heart. We're talking about February and self-love, self-care. And so there's a lot of things that we go through life and we feel like I'm, maybe this thing is dead in my life. This relationship ended. Things that I had, I don't have anymore. People that I've had, I've lost, whether it's friendships or, significant others or family, or, you lose them, a lot of things, you lose jobs, you have to develop a whole new normal because things happen, setbacks happen, and you lost a lot, but there's a lot that you still have. And that's what I want us to focus on. What do we still have? What can we build upon? And that's this coping skills that we're going to do, coping skills that work. And that's what I want to focus on. I did not get a chance to write this down in the PowerPoint, but last week we talked about breathing. We talked about deep breathing. Just take 5. You breathe in through your nose to the count of 5. You hold, and then you breathe out through your mouth, like you're breathing through a straw. And I want you to take a moment to just practice breathing with me. I want to just review it really quickly. Breathe in. I want you to breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And then you're going to breathe out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I want you to do that as many times as you want to throughout the day, when you need to decompress, before your journal, during your journaling, especially if it's something heavy and you're really upset. Deep breathing is wonderful. It is very much helpful. The next one that I wanted to review in breathing is what I call palms up, palms down. And I got a little visualization. I always talk about water. Water is liquid peace. It's my peace. It's my liquid peace, right? And so it's something that I wanted to share about breathing. Okay, so it palms up, palms down. I forgot to put my little words in here. But as you can see, this is palms up. His hands is up. And then this one, their palms are down. Okay. I had to have a visualization just to kind of give you an idea of where I'm going. So there's a scripture in the Bible that says, cast your cares on me, for I care for you. Cast your cares on God is what they're saying, because he cares about us. He cares about them. And we can't carry all of that weight. It's too heavy. It's too great of a burden for us to carry. So a lot of people pray, they meditate, they find a way to release that to their higher power, because they know they can't carry all of that weight. So deep breathing extended is through visualization. And I want to give you this little visualization. So our bodies, I don't know, I'm one of these days I'm going to look up that the statistic of how much of our bodies are composed of, made up of water. But I know it's over 70%. Okay, so we have water. I want you to, like I said, remember, water is liquid peace. So when you're breathing in and you're thinking about, I got to cast all of this weight, this burden, this stress, my whole body is struggling, is vibrating, or I just got over an anxiety attack, or I'm trying to keep from having an anxiety attack, or these kids are running around like they're cray and they're asking for a lot from me, and I just can't carry all of this, and I need to take a moment before I lose it and say something or do something. Okay, I want you to find a spot. Go take a break. Don't care if you sit on the toilet. But lock yourself in your bathroom, sit on your bed, find somewhere, say, I need a moment. And have a moment and sit down in your car before you get out. And I want you to breathe in through your nose. And I want you to visualize when you're breathing in that water is washing away all your cares and all your concerns, and they're just filling up in your hand. And they're coming from your head, and it's coming from your feet. And as you breathe in, you're just breathing in all those cares and concerns. And you can visualize it like water, like in the picture. And then when you are ready to release those cares, you just breathe out and you just visualize that water is coming out of your hands, that those cares, those concerns, those worries, those fears, those doubts, the hurt, all of it is going out. And you may have to do it a few times, which is fine. Do it a few times. Breathe in again and visualize all of that is filling up. Whether it's a bubble, like a big old ball of water, or it's like that, like a rushing water, trickling water. And then you visualize. You have to close your eyes, obviously, when you do this. And you visualize releasing that water is coming out. And you're releasing it and you're letting it go. And I'm telling you, when I'm in a devotional moment and I maybe prayed and I maybe journaled and I may have ended my journaling with, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And I go through some deep breathing and I've had some moments and I'm sitting there just worshiping God, or I just prayed and I do that. I promise you, I can feel the anointing. I can feel the presence of God just doing that and just truly doing what he says, cast those cares on him. Pray, ask anything of me and I will do it. And so I do that. It's a practice. It's a discipline of faith, even when sometimes we don't feel like we're being heard. Okay. And so I think that would be great for you to try. So this is the visualization. I am going to give you this PowerPoint, by the way, just in case you need a little extra helps of visualization. Okay. The next one that I want to share, this one. All right. Now this one, as you can see, remember we're talking about water is liquid peace. I want you, and as I can say, these are layers and different points of coping skills that I want you to do. So these, if you can see, look at the lady here that is floating. You may not be floating, you may not have a pool, you may not be in access of a pool anytime soon. We're in Mississippi. For those that are maybe other places, Mississippi, we have this much amount of winter and then it's over. So next month, we probably can get in a pool somewhere. But if you can imagine when you're just sitting there and you're doing your visualization, you're doing your deep breathing and you're visualizing. What you want to do is just visualize yourself floating in that pool, floating out there, and you just do your deep breathing, and you can just kind of suspend your arms and just relax, especially if you're on your bed and just lying back. Spread out like you're on the beach, like you're in the water, like in the pool, and just do some visualization. That's why it says choose your peaceful imagery. Do some visualization of relaxing and just imagine yourself floating and relaxing. Okay, let's stay on the beach a little minute. Look over here, down here in the picture of the waves. If you ever been beside an ocean and you hear those crashing waves, oh, I love it. I have a playlist and I've added several. I have a playlist called Relaxation, so that I play, whether it's when I'm stressed and that's during the day or definitely at night. I have certain ones that I play at night and I have certain ones during the day. And those crashing waves, it has its own imagery. Imagine if you're doing your deep breathing and not only the waves are crashing, but imagine you're on the beach and you know how the tide comes in, the waves come in, and it goes back out. And you can think, you're talking about casting your cares. Think about, I don't know, you either writing in the sand some of the things you're worried about, fear, a person's name, a situation, and you write it in the sand and you do the deep breathing, and then the tide comes in and just washes it out, right? And it just washes it away. And then you deep breathing again, and you think about something else. I'm writing it in the sand. And then deep breathing, and the tide comes in and just washes it away. So that is something you can do, meditating on that. Think about the scripture. When the woman was caught in the act of the adultery, they brought her, not the man. We're not going to touch that. Okay. But when they said, okay, Jesus, you want to stone her? We need to stone her. What you say about that? And he just sat there and wrote in the sand, wrote in the dirt. And then, he said, well, he without sin cast the first stone. He looked up, they all left. So a lot of times, you know how we Oh, I should have done that. We should have all over ourselves. I did that a long time too. You just regret, or you just blame yourself, or you just feel like, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have did that. You just feel so guilty. You gotta let yourself go. You gotta give yourself some grace. You gotta give yourself grace, and you gotta be able to forgive yourself. Scripture says that we can ask God anything and he will forgive us. He will forgive us. Problem is we don't forgive ourselves. If we're repentant and we know that we're godly sorry, we're definitely sorry. We know that we shouldn't have done that and we want to turn around and make a change and a difference. That's all. We're human. God made us. He knows we jacked up. And we are human. And anybody that we have wronged or anybody has wronged us, we're all human. Maybe the same grace that we need to extend to ourselves, we could also extend to somebody else to forgive them. Not for them, but for us. So that we can move and release and let go. And then maybe for them. Okay, the next one I love up here. We're gonna do, I guess we're gonna go counterclockwise, and that's in the bubble bath. I definitely have a colleague that has made this her ritual. When I unmute, she's gonna talk about it, maybe. But this is one where you can definitely, you're in your bubble bath and you just, whew, you see she's got her roses. That don't mean that her significant other did that. She could do that for herself. She don't necessarily have to have somebody else do it, right? Just let me just dedicate some time, make a conscious, deliberate effort that I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to pamper me. I'm going to take some time for me. I don't need it. I can go to whatever store and get me some of those bath salts that have the wonderful Epsom salt that is infused with lavender and chamomile and whatever. You know, I can go get some stuff that I need for me and I can just woo-saw and relax there, light me a candle, whatever, and enjoy myself. Turn on some music that I love, jazz, whatever, and just have at it. That's something else, that peaceful imagery. Now, that's actually a thing that you can do, but it means peaceful imagery too. You can imagine it, but why, when you got a bathtub, you can actually do it. If you think, okay, me in the bathtub is not going to make it, I ain't getting up there because I can't get out, then make your shower experience luxurious. Find something that's more, we can get the little cheap body wash, or sometimes we can pamper ourselves and get some Dove, get something that's from Bath and Body Works, get something that's more, creamier and moisture and lubricant and luxurious and pampering. Pamper yourself, hide it from the rest of the family, and it's just for you. Okay, and the last one is washing hands. Okay. If you've ever had times when you're just super anxious and stressed and you're just going through your day, this is called the part of mindfulness. And I like the picture where it's just the hand, it's just the water, but this is really about the soap and water. And there's times when you can, it's called grounding. It's called the mindfulness activity that we actually tell people to do. So being able to be in the moment of it. So what if you don't have, you can do it with hand sanitizer, you can do it with lotion. Okay, but you put that, you're in the water, you have the water, usually warm water, and you lather with soap. And you just take your time and you're just looking at what is going on with your hands, how the soap is slipping through your fingers, how it's moisturizing, how it's sudsy, how it smells. And you just in that moment, you're not thinking about what you got to do when you finish washing your hands. You're not thinking about nothing. You're not thinking about who's behind the door. You're just in the restroom or wherever, and you're just relaxing. Or you're at your desk and you got your lotion and your hand sanitizer. And you're just taking your moment and you are just taking care of yourself. And while you're doing that, you can be relaxing. You can do your deep breathing. Relax, it's okay. I can handle this. I got this. Relax, it's okay. I can handle this. And you do your deep breathing and you're relaxing and you're relaxing. And this is a grounding activity. We're going to add more grounding activities, but this is one that you can do. You can do this when you're about to have a panic attack, or you may be in the middle of having a panic attack, and you go to that sink and you turn that water on and put your hands up under there, put some soap in there, and you just doing your deep breathing. It's just a panic attack. I've had them before. I'm going to be okay. And you do your deep breathing. I'm just anxious. Your whole body may be stressing. You feel your chest tightening up, but you're not in the full panic attack yet. So you just make a note. I'm just stressed. It's okay. I got this. It's going to be okay. One step at a time, whatever it is. Okay. So I promise you this will work if you work it. So I want you to try that. Like I said, you can use it with hand sanitizer, same difference. You may not be somewhere. If you're driving and you're trying not to have road rage, you use lotion or hand sanitizer, whatever you have in your car, and just relax. Or if I'm on my way home, you have to deal with some people, do whichever one you have and just relax. Okay. And do that. I want you to choose whatever peaceful imagery, and I wanted to give you several different options. So hopefully when you see these pictures, you'll think about and remember the different types of activities that you can do to relax. It's a lot. It's a lot of good stuff. I hope and pray that you think and that you'll be able to use it. Okay. I saw this. This is a quote that's in the program, and I said, well, I was going to leave. I'm trying to see if I can move this out the way. I can't. All right, turtles there. All right. It says, if Martin Luther King stated, it's Black History Month, so I figured we need to end with this. It's Black History Month. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving. And I'm hoping that I've talked to you and shared some things with you that is going to allow you to keep moving, keep going forward, and is going to help you to breathe and go into your next step. Think baby steps. This is a little turtle headed to the water. Think baby steps. Just keep going. Just keep going. All right. I look forward to seeing you, my women's group, next month on the 2nd, the second Saturday. And with a little teaser, we're going to talk about metamorphosis. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about metamorphosis. And if you're interested, I got a journal kind of almost already fully done that's going to go with this metamorphosis. And I sent it to a lot of you guys. Sarah Jakes Roberts has a preaching that she's done called The Undoing. And so that's kind of our homework. If you can look up that video on YouTube, look at it, journal about it, peruse, see how the Lord talks to you about it. I'm going to send this out early. I'm going to try to get people to, if they want it, they can get the journal and they can do their it's kind of like book club, but this is like video club. And so you can look this up, avail yourselves to the journal that I'm giving out, and make your notes and see how God talks to you about it. But George Eliot, one of my, I love to say it's never too late to be what you might have been, but mostly it's the butterfly, and the teaser is metamorphosis, what we're going to talk about next group, next class in March. All right. And remember, if you want to register, if you want to help anyone to remind them to start to join, it's drleahseminars.org, and tell them to click on that schedule now button and enroll and get started. All right. Thank you. I am going to open up now for discussions.